I'm primarily a watercolor painter, mostly because it's portable, rapid, low toxicity, and there are things that are unique to the medium that you don't get in any other medium. For example, the way the colors mix themselves. So you see gradual tones fading into other tones. No other medium does that quite as well. These particular paintings of burned trees, I had painted a couple as close-up rectangles when I suddenly thought, wait a minute, this is paper I'm working on. I can make it any shape I want. I don't have stretchers, I don't have a wooden cradle, I can make it any shape. And why not have it be the shape of the tree that it is depicting? As a landscape painter in plein air, I'm used to being able to do a 11 by 15 landscape in a matter of 1 or 2 hours. So to come back and do something that takes me 1, 2, even 3 weeks in the studio takes a lot of discipline. I've probably done about 30 now, I think. I've sold a number of them. It's always surprising to me that someone wants a burned tree in their living room, but people who love them are very happy with them, and I have seen them in some really beautiful settings. I have been all over the American West painting these trees and looking at and recording these trees in one way or another. I've been interested in the increasing areas of burned over land throughout the wilderness since about 2003, when I first really began to be aware of it. But I've been artist in residence in the North Cascades on the east side, out of Stehekin. They've had something like 12 fires in 10 years there. I've been artist in residence in Zion National Park, where they've also had fires in the uplands. I did an artist residency at the Banff Center, which is the east side of the Canadian Rockies, lots of burned over areas there. So in all my travels around the West, I see this everywhere. And it's interesting to me how much they are different and how much they are the same. The nature of the fire, the nature of the trees, the structure of the individual tree, the environment, all interact in common and yet unique ways. And so that's why documenting a particular tree seems valid to me. I am primarily a landscape painter. It's not that I never do portraits or animals or anything, but the vast bulk of my work is landscape. And even these individual trees are, if you will, a landscape unto themselves. All of them, I think, have an element that is both beautiful but disturbing. There's something, like industrial scenes at night have a kind of drama from the lighting, from the environment that is almost built in. Likewise, burned trees and burned landscapes, they're creepy, they're unnerving, they're sad, they are a tragedy, and yet they force you to see the landscape in a completely new way. You don't see the familiar colors, the things that used to be hidden aren't hidden anymore. You see the topography. There are birds, animals, plants that are actually attracted to burned over areas that are part of the reseeding, regeneration process. So you see it with new eyes. I guess in some ways like industrial landscapes too, there are lots of big verticals and very kind of powerful scenes. In a kind of digital age, when you can see so many things online, you would come see something in person. I can tell you that seeing something large is different than seeing it small. You feel it in your body when you see something that is closer to body size. These paintings are almost as big as I am, which is difficult for a watercolorist. And it has a different effect on you. I am convinced it's because you relate to it physically in a different way. When you see a small representation, it doesn't have that kind of visceral effect on you. And even though these are nowhere near their size in reality, this tree, you know, is 30 or 40 inches in diameter at least, it's close enough, so much closer to your own size that you feel it as immense. You feel it as big. Whereas if you're only looking at a small image, you don't get that same sense. It's not that small paintings can have no effect, but that I do think you have a kind of personal, physical reaction when you see it in person and you realize what size things really are. I'm very proud of these paintings, and they have taken me many, many places throughout the West, and I've gotten a lot of good feedback about them, and people have told me that they've affected the way they see forests.
Sponsored by Kent Arts Commission.